What? Exy, the Deadeye into the Gravitic Flux, straight up in the air, and they gave them the angle.
Hey, this is Hex from the Overwatch League. This is In My Sights. It's going to be map 7 of our Summer Showdown finals. We have the Paris Eternal versus the Philadelphia Fusion. You could pick a lot of these guys to take a look at. But we're going to do it poetic-wise. We're going to go back to Exy, who was our very first In My Sights, Episode 1. Exy's going to play a lot of McCree here. He's also going to play some Widowmaker. Now, his McCree here is meant to just stop the Genji. It's a Genji world, and we're just living in it. So the things you want to be doing as McCree, or this specific McCree anyway. Dodge Carpe. Carpe's going to have longer sightlines than you, so dodge the Ashe. Flashbang EQO. That's the reason you're playing McCree right now, is just to slow down the Genji and get any value out of your Deadeye. It's a hard ult to get value out of. You want to combo it with other things. Let's see if he can get that done here. But for the most part, you just don't want to be taking sightlines against a team that you know is running an Ashe or a Widow, but you can't dual Carpe. You're here just to flashbang EQO. Genji's been so prominent in the meta, you know exactly what the team is going to run. That's why you add the McCree utility into it. I'm rolling out with this team, taking the high grounds. No resistance just yet. Flashbang and fan. You know, a lot of people don't like the flash and fan. Seems kind of lame. I agree. But when it's a Genji, totally justified. Exy does his job there, takes out the McCree early on, lets his Genji run wild. I'm going to take some good push here. That fight gets them the first point. Taking the long angles, but like I said, you don't really want to be out there when you know that Carpe's got better sightlines. This bridge is going to be a point of contention. Look, he ducks it. Try to get the cover there. But Carpe also has dynamite, forces him out in the open, and Exy will go down to Carpe. It's a tough spot as McCree. I'm going to see one of the most unique rollouts that you'll ever see on Rialto. No one goes that right side, but he has to because there's no shields in front of him. So Paris right now has to wait for all their shields to get across the bridge because they know they're outranged. Get all the shields, but the shields cracked. Now they're all just waiting for cooldowns to get the shields back up. This bridge is very difficult to cross when the defense has this position. Now they've lost their brig. You can see it. This is where McCree ends up hurting a little bit. He's outranged. He can't do anything without shields. Trying to use the bridge shield. So you have to be careful getting yoinked off. Alright, they finally get across. Now they've got shields. They want to contest room or payload is the question. Couple of nice little plinks there. And Carpe's down. Even with every tool in your kit designed to stop Genji, Genji's gonna get his. However, luckily, the Paris Eternal have a Genji of their own. They get theirs as well. Fury's gonna take a dip into the drink. And Exy now knows that he doesn't have to worry about that bridge anymore. Thank goodness. So Exy's got Deadeye, but it's so hard to get value out of that he might just wait on this until they finally find a moment to get it. It's a nice flashbang, but there's just too much invested from Philadelphia here. Exy puts EQ on notice, says that I can still hit shots. You don't have to be flash and panned. Hiding in the corner. You're going to see a lot of McCree hiding in the corner here. The idea is to rotate up here with your Sigma, everyone else drops back, and this is a better angle for him, actually. Safer. So, wait for the rest of his team. No one on their team really has ults. First instance of an aggressive angle. They have the window there. Blade comes out. Blade's gonna get its blood. Does get 2. Q ends up with 3s, so now it's 3v3, and he gets halted back in. Yeah, not gonna win that one. The Paris Eternal have Blade, which is usually a fight-winning ultimate. Xy's been holding his Deadeye, been holding it. He's been the first one to have ultimate, hasn't even considered touching it. In double shield, it's almost impossible to get value out of Deadeye, unless you use it with a Gravitic Flux. Hiding in the corner. That's your safe place. Go to your safe... Oh, no. You had your safe space. It was gonna die anyway. Eternal going to reset here. They've been kind of junk rushing. Eco pushing would be the better term for it. Going in, making sure that the Philadelphia Fusion uses ultimates while the Paris Eternal builds their own ultimates. Check marks are weighing heavily in favor of the Paris Eternal right now. And this should be a one fight. Rally open. They trade Genjis here, which is nice. And there is the Flux into the Deadeye, the Dead Sky. The Sky Noon, whatever you want to call it. But Xy had been holding on to that Deadeye since Hanbin was at 1% of his ultimate charge. It's the only way to get value out of Deadeye, High Noon, Sky Noon, whatever you want to call it. And they wait for the perfect moment to pull it off. They trade Genjis and then pull them up to the sky. Just great patience, knowing exactly that the ultimate is not very good. It's not a very good ultimate, but it's really good in that one instance. Rolling back here, just his effective range doesn't get changed by rolling back. But his team has lost everybody else there. Look, it's Rialto. Rialto's a hard map to finish. 40 seconds left, and nothing really in the bank for the Paris Eternal, and they're going to be pushing into a ton of ultimates here. Just hope for a random pick. A 2-tap double headshot. But if you're the Paris Eternal, you're already probably pretty happy with how far you've gotten this payload. Yeah, has to wait out the amplification matrix, can't walk into it. Philadelphia's going to drop it and fall back. You try to get this pick here. The flashbang and kill onto a Brig would have been huge. But now there's a Bob out. Your Genji's dead. Your Riss is dead. Just a hope and a prayer. No hope, no prayers. It's going to be the offense for the Paris Eternal. Push it almost to last, which on Rialto is amazing. Rialto can be a map that is decided on the very first point several times, and then the second point gets even harder. Third point is brutal too. So decent offense from the Paris Eternal. And Xy kind of did his job. I mean, if you're going to run a McCree instead of an Ashe, you're just hoping to mess with Genji and not let their Ashe get as much value as they possibly could. But on defense gives you sightlines. Defense lets you run Widowmaker. Xy's Widow here is going to go down in legend. Does everything right, and then goes super aggro. So, as Widow here, in this specific map, let's tailor it to the Paris Eternal versus the Philadelphia Fusion. Shoot Carpe, shoot EQO, and then pull off the most aggressive flanks possible. That's what you want to do. Nah, but seriously, he plays in aggressive positions when it allows, and also he starts anyway, in a very defensive position that no one can really get to him without exposing themselves. So if EQO wants to go mess with Xe, he's going to be shot by the entirety of the Paris Eternal squad. Early on here, you're just looking for halt headshots. So many shields. All the way back, you check the flank. Venom mine for the flank as well. Looking for the halt hit, and then all the way back here. All the way back. No one can really touch Xe without putting themselves in danger. Another flank check, Venom mine. That's where he wants to go if things turn bad. He wants to go to that bridge. But doesn't go bad. Xe on the cleanup. Yeah, it's the perfect time to say hello there, is when you hear the team kill horn. It's a nice little move there, to go there while the entire team is dead and put the Venom mine in a better spot. That's the perfect flank check, Venom mine. And he had the time to do it, so why not? Everyone fights in this corner here, but this is what I think is really good about Widow. He sees that his team is winning, but not secured yet. It's not over yet, so he goes in, goes aggressive, says maybe they need that extra bit of damage. I will go in and help, rather than making it a 5v6 like it usually is without Widow in the fight around the corners. He goes in, and now just super aggro. Let's use the Brig Shield. Would have loved to take that shot onto Boombox. He doesn't. Gets out though. Yeah, that's his plan. Wants to go top right. It's a better angle right now. Waiting for the Genji to poke out again. Gets the one hit. Doesn't take the second shot, and that second shot not taken cost Fielder his life. He does end up cleaning up EQO. However, just a little trigger shy there. Doesn't take that second shot, and who knows, maybe if his BAP lives, then they're able to hold on to that point. Just felt he didn't have the shot. Canopy is a great spot to hold as Widow here, but you know what else is great? Going on the dumbest flank ever, and I mean that as a compliment. Boom! Boom! This flank does not work at all if you don't just two-tap right there. He gets Boombox, he gets EQO, and that's such a brilliant call by this team. They all push forward. You know there's going to be no eyes on you as Widowmaker, and he just gets pure value. One shot, two people down. Whew. That's the Widow play of legend right there. Now only 30 seconds for Fusion. Xe wants to get into the top spot here. And with about 20 seconds on board, you hit the sights. Sights last a while. Gives you all the info you need. But this is actually a good response from Philadelphia. There's no really great angles for Xe to take if they push that direction. So he's going to try to do what he just did again. Doesn't hit that shot. Doesn't hit that shot. Gets that one, though. And leaves a sign that he was there. Look at this Venom mine. Xe was here. Going to Tracer just to contest here because it is still a brawl on the cards and everybody is low HP. Yeah, but Genji's good. Genji's pretty good. Beautiful defense with the Widow. Gonna go back to the McCree because really, Genji is the problem right now. Sometimes you have to stop in Overwatch and ask yourself, what's the problem? What's the problem we're dealing with? And I think the answer to a lot of that question is going to be Genji. And so, you try to solve the problem with McCree. Flashbang's pretty good. They're also not going to be playing long sight lines right now. Like, this is really where they want to fight. They want to be able to control house, be able to control stairway. So Widow doesn't do anything for you here. Eco gets in. Xy's just looking for a flank to try to do something to equalize. Try to go for it. Can't do anything there. You're just losing that. Well, so we're back on McCree. There's 3 things you want to do as McCree to tell the enemy team. Hello. Howdy. Hey there. Alright, alright, alright. That was 4. Flash and fan. Gets EQ out of it. Now you gotta try to find where can you get value out of this Deadeye. Even 1v1's Carpe, like you shouldn't even be taking that fight. Does enough damage. Deflect has to wait it out, and then ends up getting Fury in it. Flashbang on to EQO to slow him down a little bit. The blade comes out in desperation. So a lot of people think you play McCree against Genji just for Flashbang. But McCree is so good at just one-tapping someone into a bad decision, and you saw it a lot in the Reaper meta too. Reaper wants to go in at full health, but if you one-tap him on the head, Reaper's wraithing out, he's doing something different. You one-tap Genji, he's using abilities. McCree has the ability to put a single headshot in and change someone's game plan. Trying to get behind. No one expects him behind, and he hits it. He hits Carpe. Hey, Brig. I didn't even know I was here, did ya? Xy has taken some of the strangest angles on McCree, on Widowmaker. My goodness, Xy playing on a level that no one could even understand, comprehend, coach against, or prepare for. A sick Widow. Ridiculous flanks played with his team. And the McCree, all you're trying to do is mess with their Genji, and he did it to perfection. We did him episode 1, we do it again, and that's Xy, a favorite here at In My Sights.